Good morning everyone and welcome one more day to this your computer security channel. In today's video we are going to talk about the famous cookies. So if you want to know what they are and what you are accepting on each website, this is your video. For some years now you may have noticed that all websites have an annoying sign at the bottom that tells you that they will use cookies and that you have to accept it. But do you really know what you are accepting? Cookie is the word that was decided to be used to refer to the files that a browser saves on your hard drive, files that store different types of information. So yes, cookies are files that a web page saves on your hard drive, and this is precisely what we are agreeing to. We give them permission so that they can write information in those files, and in the future, be able to read it. But what kind of information is being stored there? Can anyone read this information? Can they contain viruses? Are they insecure? Aren't they? Well, we are going to solve all these doubts. Let's start with the basics. What information is stored in cookies? Well, basically, basic information is stored as preferences within a web page, such as the language or the products you have added to the cart or the products you have marked as favorites. But not only keep such basic information, they can also store specific information of those products as well as the links you have been visiting or how much time you have spent on each page of that website. With all this information, they can make your experience on the website much better, as the website can learn from the things you have visited or what you have liked and can recommend similar things. This makes the website you visit much more personal. In fact, this is what they will always tell you to sell you the idea that cookies are your friends. And it is true that to some extent cookies are your friends, as they can improve your experience, but it also has its downside, like everything in this life. Imagine for a moment that you enter the website of an airline and you want to buy a plane ticket, you want to fly to the other side of the world. But of course, obviously in the first search you are not going to buy the flight. What everybody does is to buy several days, different times to see when the flight can be cheaper. And everyone does this and the website knows it. The funny thing is that thanks to the cookies that you accepted one day, they can know that during different days you have been looking for a specific destination for specific dates. So the website knows that sooner or later, you will end up buying that plane ticket. And it is possible that they may increase the price a little bit, because if you have been looking for the same flight to the same destinations for so many days, it is very likely that you will end up buying it. And this is not paranoia. This is something that is known and used constantly in marketing. So as advice, I will tell you that when you look for this kind of things on the internet, use private browsing, because private browsing does not have access to your cookies. By the way, I take this opportunity to tell you that if you like computer security and want to continue learning, down there you have a button that says subscribe, that if you give it, you would be helping me a lot. Another interesting thing is that the cookies that a website stores on your computer can only be read by that website. That is, if you enter Amazon and search for a series of products or leave them in the cart, no other website can know what Amazon products you have been visiting. But what do you mean no website can know what I've been looking for? If I then go to read the newspaper and nothing but ads for this product appear, how can that be? Ah, my friend. Well, this is called remarketing, and it is very closely linked to cookies. Let's see how it is possible, thanks to cookies, that once we search for a product on Amazon or Google, this product is not being pursued in advertisements on all web pages that we are going to visit. For this I will have to thank, or curse, third-party cookies. It may sound familiar to you because most of the websites, what it says on the bottom banner or what you have to accept is that they use third-party cookies. That is, they will read cookie information, but not the cookies that page has placed on your website, but cookies from other pages that have left on your computer. Because what you are accepting in that web page, let's take a newspaper for example, is that it reads the information of the cookies placed on your computer by pages such as Google or Amazon. But let's see. If you just told me that the cookies saved on my computer by a website can only be read by that website, how can it be that a newspaper can see the cookies that Amazon has saved on my computer? This does not make sense. This is because the ads that are inside a web page are not really on that web page. They look like they are, but they aren't. Just so you understand, those ads are embedded within the web page. It's like if you go to YouTube, take the link and share it on your Facebook wall. Even though you shared it on your Facebook wall, that video is playing from Google's servers. Just like the little ad squares inside a web page. They are not inside that web page. The little squares are being loaded from Amazon's servers, which is who put the cookies on your computer. That's why these ads that are kind of inserted inside the newspaper can access the cookies, giving the effect that, No matter what web page you go to, that product is chasing you, when really that ad is always loading from Amazon. Wow, we're really learning some pretty interesting things. But let's not forget that this is a security channel. What about security in cookies? Are they secure? Are they not? What about this? Well, the truth is that cookies are either secure or not, depending on the web page you enter. In fact, any information from the web page could be stored in the cookies. The language, preferences, where we have passed, practically everything. But of course, if you can save practically everything, can you also save your username and password? Yes, they do. When you go to a website and accept cookies, you lose control a little bit of what information the developer of that website is saving inside your computer. If you have registered in a web page in which the programmer was quite bad, it could be the case that this programmer saved your user and password in a cookie. And this is really serious because although cookies are files that can only be read by that website, let's not forget that they are real files. They are files. They are files that are on our hard drive. So if someone were to steal our computer, simply by accessing the folder where the cookies are stored, they could see the password and the user that we have on different web pages. And that is why it is so important that every time you register on a website, you use a different password. I know that many times it is difficult to remember all the passwords, but you can use a basic password and add a series of numbers or letters that change depending on each web page. If you are a programmer, this message is for you. Never store sensitive user information in your cookies. Well, and now that we know what cookies are and what they are not, what conclusion do we have from this? Well, on the one hand, we can say that cookies are necessary and to some extent are good, as they allow the website to learn more and more about our behavior and recommend products that interest us more. It allows a total personalization for us. But on the other hand, they are also annoying, as they are the cause that when you do a search on the internet, then that product appears everywhere, making you a constant stalking on the internet. Not to mention that we leave in the hands of the programmer of a web page to save information on our hard drive, information that may be sensitive or may not be, but it can be our username and password, so you have to be careful. We could say that cookies are a necessary evil in this internet nowadays, but the most important thing is to be clear about what they are and what we are accepting. And now that you know, you just have to have a little eye when surfing the internet. And this is the end of today's video. If you like the video, well, here I leave my channel for you to subscribe, and if you want to continue watching another video as interesting or more, here I leave another video for you to take a look at. See you in the next video. Ciao!